Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So in the last class, we saw that the equations of motion for falling bodies, and also we saw how to develop the expression for maximum height, time to reach maximum height, and the time of flight, right? So after that, we had an extended activity, the vector form of equation of motion, which I told you to go through at home. Okay. I will not be discussing this part in details because these are not actually that much important for creative. Okay. This is just so that you know. Okay. This will not play any role while we solve the creatives. Okay. So that is why I would like to request you, but this is important to understand, right? For MCQ also. So kindly go through, and in case you don't understand a particular line, then you can tell me. I will discuss about that in the following class, inshallah. Okay. So today what I will be discussing about is motion of a projectile. This is very interesting and something new to you. Okay. Also not new, but new. Okay. How? We know that whenever we throw a body in the upward direction, here also we are going to do that. We are going to throw a body in the upward direction, okay? Or from a certain height, we are going to leave a body, okay? Now, from this perspective, you know it. But from other perspective, you don't know about it. That is, till now we only considered the velocity of a falling body vertically upward and vertically downward, right? But we all know that we can always throw a body at an angle with the horizontal, right? With the horizontal, we can throw the body at a particular angle. So then the body will go something like this, right? It will go in the upward direction for particular time, but at the same time, it will cover a horizontal distance also. See, this is interesting. If you throw a body in the vertically upward direction, then it will go in the upward direction and it will come back. So along y-axis, it will cover some distance, right? There will be some movement along y-axis. But does it have any movement along x-axis?
No.
Good. No, we do not see any kind of movement. But whenever this body will be thrown in this direction, what will happen? It will go like this, right? Okay, it will reach a maximum height at some time. Then what will happen? It will come back to the earth due to the action of the force of gravity. So whenever we throw the body at a particular angle with the horizontal, okay, the body not only covers a distance along y-axis but also covers a distance along x-axis. Okay, so this type of body is called projectile. Whenever we throw a body at an angle with the horizontal, then we can say that that body is a projectile. Okay, today we will discuss about the motion of a projectile. Okay, how this body goes. Okay, for this body we will try to know. Let us say that I will ask you that at this point, what is the velocity? Okay, so you have to find the answer. Then I will ask you what is the maximum height from the ground that it will cover, or what will be the range, horizontal range. This is the horizontal range from the starting point to the landing point. Okay, so this horizontal distance is called horizontal range. So how we can find this out, we will get to know it, inshallah, in some time. Okay, so this is an idea that what we are going to actually discuss about today. Okay, acha. One more thing I want to give you a heads up about is, till now actually we considered the velocity along only y-axis, right? So we represent it with v, but as we are throwing it at an angle, definitely this vector, that is velocity, is a vector, right? So this vector can be resolved into two perpendicular components. If you remember, we studied this in the vector chapter. Whenever we have a vector, it can be divided or resolved into two perpendicular components. Here also we will do the same. This is the initial velocity, so it will be resolved into, it can be resolved into two perpendicular components, that is along x-axis and along y-axis. Okay, Acha. One more thing that I'd like to mention is, can you think and tell me, okay, along y-axis, okay, the velocity will be uniform velocity or there will be some acceleration along y-axis?
Uniform.
Huh?
Uniform.
There will be acceleration.
Someone is
Sir,
saying
question টা
the
কি ছিল?
velocity will be uniform. হ্যাঁ, question ছিল যে এই যে বডিটা আমরা একটা অ্যাঙ্গেলে থ্রো করব, and then velocity will be divided into two particular component, that is velocity along y-axis, velocity along x-axis. Now when we are considering the component of velocity along y-axis, okay, on it, will there be any effect of acceleration or
Deceleration.
deceleration will be there for the first part? Yes, this is what I wanted to know. Tarek also gave the correct answer. Very good. Okay, because always the force of gravity acts in the downward direction, so this force of gravity will have effect the velocity component along y-axis, the y-axis component of velocity, must remember. Then comes the next question, that we said that we are going to resolve it. One component is going to be there along x-axis also. Y-axis we know, but what about the velocity along x-axis? Throughout the journey, will it remain constant, or will it be uniform velocity, or there will be also some acceleration?
Uniform velocity there will be.
Very good, excellent. তারিক, এগুলা কি তুমি পড়ে ফেলছো আগে, নাকি জাস্ট এখন কমন সেন্স অ্যাপ্লাই করে বললা?
একটু রিডিং করছিলাম স্যার।
গুড, দেখছো বাসায় আগে থেকে পড়ে রাখলে আসলে বুঝতে অনেক ইজি হয়। গুড, ভেরি গুড। ওকে, সো the thing is, only one force is acting on it, and that force is force of gravity. And due to this force of gravity, an acceleration is going to be caused. We know this from SSC level. Whenever there is a force, there is a change of velocity, and due to the change of velocity, acceleration will be there. So in short, we can say force will cause acceleration. So force of gravity, this is the only acting force on this body when I have thrown this body already. Okay, this body is in the air. So only force that is acting, that is force of gravity. So only acceleration that will be caused, that will be acceleration due to gravity. So acceleration due to gravity, this acts always in the perpendicular direction, right, with the horizontal. So as a result, what will happen? The acceleration will be affecting the velocity along y-axis. That means the component of velocity along y-axis, that will be affected only by the acceleration. There will be no effect of it on the component of velocity along x-axis. Okay, along x-axis, whenever we will consider the component of velocity along x-axis, we will consider it to be a uniform velocity, because in this direction we are not applying any kind of force. Only one force is acting, that is along y-axis. So acceleration will be there in case of y-axis, but along x-axis there will not be any kind of acceleration. So there will be no change in velocity along the x component. Okay, this is very important to understand before I actually start explaining the equations. Okay, if you keep this in mind, then the things are very easy to understand, I feel. Okay, let us see. Projectile, if an object is thrown obliquely, obliquely মানে এটা আমি তোমাদেরকে রিফ্রাকশন অফ লাইট যখন পড়াচ্ছিলাম গ্রেড 10 এ, তখন তোমাদেরকে বলছিলাম obliquely মানে বাঁকা ভাবে, ঠিক আছে? it cannot come perpendicularly. perpendicularly হইলে সেটা আমরা জানি, বাট একটু বাঁকা ভাবে হইতে হবে। ওকে, so if an object is thrown obliquely into space, it is called a projectile. The object that you throw, that is called projectile. Projectile motion is a fine example of curved motion. You can see that the motion, the path is not a straight line, rather it is a curved path. Okay, so uniform acceleration, they are saying uniform acceleration, not uniform velocity, because along y-axis the velocity is not uniform, but the acceleration, that is going to be uniform, because uniform acceleration, the example of uniform acceleration is acceleration due to gravity, because this does not change. Okay, g does not change. Its motion is two-dimensional motion of an obliquely thrown object in air, two-dimensional. Okay, acha, obliquely thrown stone, motion of a bullet are examples of projectile motion. In these cases we neglect air resistance. This is very important to know, because I already told you that we are going to consider that only one force is acting on the body, and that is the force of gravity. No other force is acting on the body. Okay, must remember. Okay, the position and velocity of a projectile, let us consider this one. Let us consider that the point from which the object is thrown is the origin of the reference frame. Yes, we can consider this one as the origin of a reference frame. Okay, this X is the origin, the point O. Okay, 0, 0 point. Achha. The positive y-axis of the reference plane is vertically upward. Okay, and the positive x-axis is the direction along which the object travels the horizontal distance. The object is traveling horizontal distance in this direction, so this is the positive x-axis as they have considered. Achha. So that the initial position of the object x0 is 0 and y0 is 0. This is x, whatever the distance it covers, okay, it is going to be termed as x, and whatever distance it covers along y, it will be termed as y. Now, what is the initial position? Initial position is 0, 0. That is x naught. The initial position along x-axis, x naught, this is 0, y naught, this is also equal to 0. Okay? Achha. When the object is thrown, acceleration due to gravity acts on it along downward direction, right? Obviously, acceleration due to gravity acts in the downward direction. That is why the body comes down. Okay. So in this case, the acceleration of the object A will be equal to minus g. We already know this, right? Because the body is going in the upward direction. Okay. So acceleration that will be acting will be minus 9.8. Okay. So the component along x and y axis of that initial velocity are respectively v naught. This one, this is the initial velocity. Okay. Now this v naught can be resolved into two perpendicular components that is along x axis. Let us say that is vx naught. Vx naught is the component of v naught along x axis. It will be v naught cos theta naught. If you remember, v naught and the angle with that axis, okay, cosine of that angle, and vy naught, this one is v naught sin theta naught. Those who have been attending the class from the beginning, they already know this, what I'm talking about. Okay, Sadia, Lamia, do you have any doubt?
No. No, sir.
Okay, good. So let at the time t, the projectile reaches at the point P. Okay, after some time it has reached the point P. Fine. Where its velocity is v. Here the velocity is v. Okay, we know that always at a point, whenever the body is in a circular motion, we know that at a particular point the direction of the velocity is along the tangent of that point. That is why I showed it in this way. Achha. Which makes an angle theta with the horizontal. This v makes an angle theta with the horizontal. Okay, this is the angle theta. Okay, now this v also will have a component along x-axis and along y-axis. Okay, so I can show it either here or I can show it here. Okay, both of them same. This is going to be vx and this is going to be vy. This is vy, so I can write that one also vy. And so the horizontal and vertical component of v are respectively vx equal to vx naught. Achha, vx, this vx we are saying that it is equal to vx naught. Can anybody tell me why I am saying this? Why this velocity is going to be the equal to is going to be equal to the initial velocity along x-axis?
সেম থাকবে ভেলোসিটি না এই জন্য
I want to hear it from Abid. Abid,
Yes, sir.
you're there?
Yes.
Abid, can you tell me that why I wrote that the velocity along x-axis it will always be equal to the initial velocity along x-axis? A little bit ago we said that the acceleration that is going to act is along y-axis only. Along x-axis it is going to be uniform velocity. Uniform velocity, because acceleration acts or the velocity change will occur only along y-axis. Along x-axis no force is acting, so no force, no velocity change, no acceleration. So if the velocity is not changing, does not matter whether you take the velocity component along x-axis at this point, this point, this point, this point, this point. At whatever point you take, the velocity component along x-axis is going to give you the same value. Okay, it is going to be remain the same. But what about vy? This one will be equal to vy naught. Will it be equal to vy naught? this is not going to be equal to Vy naught. Why? Because there is some acceleration, deceleration acting on it, right? So what I can write, Vy is equal to what we know. Let us write the common equation. V equal to V naught minus Gt will be there, right? Minus Gt because deceleration. So if I apply it for the y direction, so it will be Vy. V will become Vy, and the initial velocity along y-axis, that is Vy naught minus Gt. Can I write it?
Yes.
Okay. Then Vy naught, I already have a particular value for it, so I can just replace it V naught sine theta naught minus Gt. Every line has logic, okay? So please let me know if you do not understand the logic behind the any line, okay? Acha. So Vx is equal to Vx naught, and Vx naught is equal to V naught cos theta naught. We can write it there. V naught cos theta naught. Okay. Now, in the next line, they have tried to find out the value of this velocity. If you take a look, a right angle triangle has been formed here, right? A right angle triangle. If I want to find out the value of the hypotenuse, I can use the Pythagoras theorem. How? V equal to, I can write Vx square plus Vy square. Actually, the thing is, it is V square is equal to Vx square plus Vy square. But if I take root over, then I will get the magnitude of V, right? So from here, actually, we can just replace the value and then we can find the value for velocity. Okay. Also, if I want to know the direction, that is the angle. Okay. I know how to do it. Tan theta is equal to oppo by adjacent. Okay. Vy by Vx. Vy divided by Vx. Is it clear? Achha, again, the horizontal and vertical component of position vector R. Yes, the position vector now we are talking about, okay? This is the origin. If I connect this point directly with the origin, then this line is going to represent the position vector of that point. Correct or not? Okay. Now, this one can be represented by, see, to reach this point, I need to cover a particular distance x along x direction and a particular distance along y, that is in y direction. So if I want to find out r from here, you can see that another right angle triangle has been formed here. Okay, this is the hypotenuse and this is the distance covered in x direction, this is the distance covered in y direction. So r is equal to, can I write root over x square plus y square? Can I write it along Pythagoras theorem?
Yes.
Sadia, you have doubt?
Yes. No, sir.
Okay, if anybody have doubt, please unmute yourself and let me know. Okay. So we are done with page number 143. Let's go to the next page. And from here also, if I want to find out the tan theta, then definitely I can write just this is theta. So oppo by adjacent. Okay. Y by x. Equation 3.30b. Okay. Now we are going to talk about the trajectory of a projectile. Till now, what we discussed about the velocity of the projectile at any point. Okay. This v actually represents the velocity at any point. Okay. If you take it this point, then you have to put the value of vx and vy for this point. Okay. So if you put the corresponding value, you can find the velocity at that point. Also, you can find out the direction. Easy. Okay. Answer. Now, trajectory. What do we mean by trajectory? Are you familiar with this word trajectory? Many of you are not, I feel, okay? I myself was not actually familiar until I studied this topic, okay, in my student life. So the trajectory means goti path, the way it follows in the journey, okay? Now, if a body is moving from here to here, if I ask you what is the type or nature of the path he followed, you will tell me, sir, straight line. Or if I ask you that what is the nature of a body, of the path of the body which is having a circular motion, you will say, sir, it is a curved line, or you will say, sir, this is a circle. Okay. So like that, for the projectile, what is this? from the shape itself, we know that this is a parabola. In mathematics, inshallah, you will study a chapter that is named as conic. Okay. There you will study three types of circle: parabola, ellipse, and hyperbola. Okay. They are kind of like this. Okay. You will study this in the chapter of conic. Okay. So I'm just giving you an idea. So this type of path or this type of line, you saw that I drew a parabola, that it looks like a parabola, right? U shape. Okay. So we are going to prove that the path is a path of a parabola. Now you know that for straight line we have an equation. Whenever we see an equation in this shape, y is equal to mx plus c, without even seeing at the graph or the figure, we can say that this is the equation of a straight line. Correct or not? Likewise, inshallah, in mathematics, whenever you study the chapter circle, you will get to know that there is an equation x square plus y square is equal to, let us say, 4. This type of equation where two squares are there, this is the equation of a circle. Okay, that means every particular shape has a what should I say, the equation. Okay, looking at that equation, I can say this equation represents a circle, this equation represents a parabola, this equation represents a ellipse, like that. Okay, so for straight line and circle, these two equations are there. Like that, for parabola also there is an equation. If I can show that this line represents that equation, then I can say this is a parabola, right? Now from the figure, actually, based on our visual power, we can say that this is a parabola, but we need to prove it through equation. We will try to find out the equation of this path. If that equation is something like this, y equal to mx plus c, then we will say it is a straight line. If it is like this, then I will say this is a circle. But if it is like, I will show you the equation of a parabola, y equal to bx minus cx square. If I get an equation like this for this line, then I can say this is the equation of a parabola and the path is a parabola. Or I can say the trajectory of the projectile is a parabola. Is it clear what we are going to do? Okay. Acha. It's always better to know what is our target. Okay. Our target is to prove that this line represents an equation like this, or can be represented by an equation like this. This is what is our target. So we will head in that way. Acha. So trajectory of a projectile, page number 144. Let a body is thrown with initial velocity v naught, making an angle theta naught with the horizontal. Okay. So this is our reference frame. From here, this body is thrown. Okay. The initial velocity is v naught. Okay. With an angle theta naught. This is the initial angle, right? So theta naught. With the horizontal, then the horizontal and vertical component of the initial velocity are, okay, so this initial velocity will have a component along x-axis, that is vx naught is equal to v naught cos theta naught, and this will be vy naught will be equal to v naught sin theta naught. Okay, must remember, this whole line does not represent vy naught. Whatever you draw here, that length, this length represents vy naught, and this length represents vx naught. Okay. Achha. Then suppose the position of the projectile after time t of throw is at p. Okay. You know that it will follow a path something like this. Now at any point p, it is here. Okay. After time t. Achha. Let OQ is equal to x. আচ্ছা এখানে p থেকে আমরা যদি একটা পারপেন্ডিকুলার ড্র করি and this point is named as q, this is o, so oq, this is considered as x, and qp, this distance covered in y direction is y. আচ্ছা So OQ is equal to X, QP is equal to Y. I hope till this line it is clear. Okay. That's all. Then OQ is equal to horizontal distance covered in time t. Yes, this is the horizontal distance covered. This is the vertical distance covered. Okay. Now horizontal distance covered, they have for we know our equation S equal to dt. Now this equation, if you remember, we applied whenever there is uniform velocity. Uniform velocity. So along x-axis, we know that it is uniform velocity because along x-axis no other force is acting. So along x-axis it is uniform velocity. So what is the distance you have moved along x-axis? X, right? So S will be replaced by x is equal to here v. V is the velocity. We know that along x-axis the velocity is same at every point. So we can write it. This is equal to the initial velocity. The initial velocity component of initial velocity along x-axis that will be maintained throughout this path, right? So this v, we can write the initial velocity vx naught, which is v naught cos theta naught, v naught cos theta naught into time t. This is how the line came. Okay, the equation 3.31. Every equation you need to understand how it came. Okay, now along y-axis, we know that the velocity change occurs because a force is acting, acceleration is there. So for this, we will be applying this equation as equal to ut plus half kt square. We are going to apply this equation because it contains acceleration. So let us see. S is the distance covered. We are applying it for y direction, right? Along y direction, the distance covered is y. So I will write y. Then we have ut. U is the initial velocity. So what is the initial velocity along y-axis? That is vy naught, v naught sine theta naught. So I will write v naught sine theta naught into multiplied by t. Okay, so multiplied by t. Here you must put this bracket. Now you might ask me, sir, why I must put this bracket? What will happen if I do not put this bracket? Let us see. If you do not put this bracket, then it will represent v naught into sine theta naught t. That means t, teacher might comprehend it in this way that t is multiplied with theta naught only. But this is not the case. T will be multiplied with all this thing, right? So that is why it is very important to put the bracket. In case you forget to put the bracket, then the teacher holds the right to deduct the marks if he wants to. So do not give any chance, even if the teacher wants to deduct your mark. Okay, do not give any chance. Then plus, this plus will become minus. Why? Because the body is going in the upward direction, the acceleration due to gravity is negative. So half acceleration will be g and t square. See, this is our equation 3.32. Okay. Every equation you need to understand. I told you this is equation 3.31. This is how it came. They did not actually write the whole derivation. Okay, that is why I am explaining you that this equation you are familiar with. Using this equation, they have written it, and this is also an equation that you know already. Using this equation, we can write it. Okay, we just need to match. Now, the equation of trajectory of path of motion of a body at any instant is the equation relating the coordinates. Yes, we know that if I want to represent this path, I need an equation that will represent this path. Okay, I think in this page we do not need anything. We can move to the next page, that is 145 page. The first equation that is written, T is equal to x by v naught cos theta. This came from this line. See, x is equal to v naught cos theta into t. So if I want to find it, oh, here also actually you need to put this bracket. Okay. So t, if I want to find out, then v naught cos theta naught, I will just change the side. It is multiplied here. If I change the side, it will be divided. So x by v naught cos theta naught. This is how this equation came. Now putting this value of t in equation 3.32, that is this equation. The value of t, this value we will be putting in this equation. Then how this equation will become, or how it will look like, let us see. Y is equal to v naught sine theta naught into t. T is x by v naught cos theta naught. X by v naught cos theta naught. Okay, then we have minus half g into t square. T square means we will replace the value here again, x by v naught cos theta naught whole square. X by v naught cos theta naught whole square. Anybody have any objection how this line came? Or any confusion? No, mashallah. Okay, so we will continue with this line, okay? From here, what we can write, y is equal to, we can see that this b naught and this b naught will get cancelled, and sin theta naught by tan theta naught, sin by cos is tan theta, right? Sin by cos is tan theta. So I can write tan theta naught into x minus, what we have here, minus half into g divided by v naught square into cos square theta naught into x square. Now, why did I write this equation in this form? So that I can show you that this is similar to this equation. Okay, this is the equation of a parabola, and we can see that we have obtained an equation which is actually similar to this, right or wrong? This is similar to this equation. Here b is tan theta naught, c is this value. So x is there, you can see x square is there, and y we have. So we can say that the trajectory of this projectile is actually a parabola. Anybody have any doubt? The derivation, do not take the pressure of memorizing the derivation, because the derivation is not going to come in the exam. You won't have to write it, but you have to understand it. Why you have to understand it? Because while solving the numerical problem, you have to imagine the situations that are explained here, okay? When the body is here, if you are asked to calculate the velocity along x-axis, you must remember that the velocity along x-axis, here it is a uniform velocity, so you don't have to use the value of g. So these things are actually are going to come handy when you are going to solve the numerical problem or the creatives, okay? So please, the basic is important. Try to understand every line, okay, so that you can use that knowledge while solving the problems, okay? Do not force yourself to memorize the derivation. Derivation memorizing, it is not needed. So can I move to the next topic, that is time to reach the maximum height and all?
কি বললেন?
হ্যাঁ লামিয়া, কোনো ডাউট
কি
আছে?
বললেন? না, আপনি কি বললেন মাত্র? শুনতেছি না, ব্রেক করতেছে কেন?
ও আচ্ছা, এখন বললাম যে তোমরা যদি এটাতে কোনো ডাউট না থাকে, তাহলে ওই যে টাইম টু রিচ দ্য ম্যাক্সিমাম হাইট, এটাতে আমি মুভ করব আর কি।
ওকে,
স্যার আজকে না।
আজকে না? ওকে, সমস্যা নেই। সুন্দর সুন্দর, এরকম রিকোয়েস্ট আসলে আমার কাছে অনেক ভালো লাগে। বুঝা যায় মানে তোমরা বুঝতে ইন্টারেস্টেড, আজকে হয়তো মনোযোগ আসতেছে না, তো চাও না যে মানে শুধু শুধু ক্লাসে টাইম পাস হোক। ইটস গুড, নো প্রবলেম, ওকে? সো আই উড লাইক টু রিকোয়েস্ট সাদিয়া, একটু হিন্ট দিয়ে দিই, বাসায় তোমরা দেখে নিও, ওকে? দেখো, টাইম টু রিচ ম্যাক্সিমাম হাইট, এটা কিন্তু ভার্টিক্যালি থ্রো করলে কিরকম লাগে সেটা গত ক্লাসে আমি তোমাদের সাথে ডিসকাস করছি, বাট আজকে প্রজেক্টাইলের জন্য দেখতে হবে যে মানে টাইম টু রিচ ম্যাক্সিমাম হাইট কিরকম। এই সবগুলা ইকুয়েশন আমি যদি তোমাদেরকে নাও বোঝাই, তোমরা নিজেরা বাসায় পড়লেই বুঝবা। আমি জানি তোমাদের কতটুকু নলেজ আছে, তো কাইন্ডলি এই কয়েকটা টপিক একটু বাসায় পড়বা। টাইম টু রিচ ম্যাক্সিমাম হাইট, আর দ্য ম্যাক্সিমাম হাইটটা কত সেটা, আবার টাইম অফ ফ্লাইট, আর হরাইজন্টাল রেঞ্জ, that is up to 148 পেজের মাঝামাঝি, 148 পেজের মাঝামাঝি 3.38 যে ইকুয়েশন, এতটুকু পর্যন্ত আই বিলিভ তোমরা নিজেরা যদি করো, কোনো ডাউট ছাড়াই তোমরা ইনশাআল্লাহ বুঝবা। বাট স্টিল যদি কোনো ডাউট থাকে তোমরা পড়ো, ডাউট থাকলে আমাকে বললে আমি পরের ক্লাসে এক্সপ্লেইন করব ইনশাআল্লাহ। So see you in the next class inshallah. Thank you very much for joining. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.